Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Angela Shenton. I'm a senior director responsible for global IT procurement for Johnson & Johnson. Most importantly, I'm also a mother of two young, beautiful girls.
Great. Hi, Angela. I'm happy to be co-hosting with you today. My name is Lisa Johnson, and I am the director of the National Institute for Work and Learning at FHI 360, one of J&J's partners. Some of you might be wondering, what is STEM2D? That is the initiative that we have women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, manufacturing, and design. That is our STEM2D. And thanks again for tuning in, as Angela said. And please, in Facebook, add any questions or comments in the comments. Angela, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. And first and foremost, why is STEM important, and particularly for young girls?
Lisa, thanks so much for the question. STEM is important because there is a lack of gender diversity. Women earn fewer STEM degrees, and we make up much less of the STEM workforce, representing less than half in each of the STEM categories. And only 3% of Nobel Prizes have been awarded to women. Also, there's a leaky pipeline. Girls and women tend to steer away from STEM careers. We often associate STEM with environmental barriers, where we lack mentors and role models to support the interests. And there's also social cues that tend to discourage the pursuit of STEM. And we want to overcome that because STEM has the highest growth and highest demand in the workforce and for careers. Thanks for the great question, Lisa.
Yeah, and thanks for being a mom.
It's my pleasure. So Lisa, why is STEM engagement so important during COVID-19 pandemic?
It is the only thing that is going to get us out of this crisis. It's essential. Science, problem solving, human-centered design approaches are really what STEM is about and very much needed. And women as leaders in taking on those roles is such a critical thing. Another thing I think about is technology. So right now we're on Facebook. A lot of folks are using Google Classroom, we're using Zoom. Some of us are doing these at-home exercise videos. So when we think about this applied technology and all the ways that we're all a virtual classroom, we're all learning together, we're all sharing together. So making investments in those, having these kinds of activities that embed hands-on, minds-on approaches, which is what STEM does to address everyday real-world types of issues, being more relevant, not just sitting in a classroom only, but bringing the classroom to the world.
Thanks, Lisa. It is so much more important today than ever before.
Yeah. And I'm curious too, why is J&J so invested in a COVID response?
Oh, thanks for this great question. I'm so proud of the company I work for. We are one of the world's largest healthcare companies, and J&J feels a deep responsibility to improve the health of people around the world every day. And these are values that are instilled in our credo. They govern everything we do at Johnson & Johnson. And J&J is well positioned through our combination of scientific expertise, operational scale, and financial strength to bring our resources in collaboration with others to accelerate the fight against the pandemic. J&J is committed to doing our part, which is bringing a COVID-19 vaccine available globally as fast as possible. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, and thanks to J&J.
Great, and we'd love to learn a little bit more now about FHI 360 and the J&J STEM programs. What do they do? Can you tell us more about them?
Yeah, we do a lot. We have been fortunate to be partnering with J&J since 2003, where we started with our Bridge to Employment program. And you'll hear in a few minutes from a current participant in Bridge to Employment, as well as one of our alumni. And that has created, J&J created a pathway program for young girls and boys after high school to go off into college. And then, of course, what we're here to talk about today the Women in STEM2D initiative. We began partnering with J&J back in December of 2015, and then J&J launched different activities with their employees in 2016. So we also partner with JA Worldwide. We partner with the Smithsonian Science Education Center and the Girl Scouts in this Women in STEM initiative. And some of the things that we've done through that is creating how-to guides. We've created activities for adults to work with young people so that they can feel equipped and informed to engage girls in these really important strategies.
Thanks, Lisa. These sound like fantastic programs and partnerships. Can you give us an example of a recent success from one of the projects?
Yeah, I think as one of our J&J leaders talks about, it's stories with numbers, numbers with stories. And as we think about the goal set for 2020 was our partnership to reach 1 million girls. We've reached 6 million girls. So there's obviously a need out there. There's obviously an interest, and there's obviously a lot of wonderful people doing good work to engage girls globally. So there's things that J&J employees do that a lot of us support in classrooms, outside of classrooms. And most recently, back in December in China, one thing that really sticks out to me is that high school girls were even building prosthetic arms through 3D printing to give to children that actually need a limb. So again, doesn't get too much better than that.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Sure. And Angela, as I'm asking you a question, I also want to ask the audience the same or a similar question. So if those of you in the audience could be writing in the comment box, how can you spark interest in STEM career for girls, especially during this time where many of us are at home? How can this happen?
Yeah, I can't wait to see some of the comments from the audience, and I can give you some of my perspective here. You know, in the face of COVID-19, this team is doing a lot of work to support more virtual activities and participation. As you mentioned, there's so much emphasis on technology. These activities are featured on STEM2D.org under the Activities at Home section. And you'll find there parent and girl tip sheets, videos, and access to other partner activities. Mm-hmm. It's also really important that our teachers and parents engage and encourage STEM activities that can help to spark the interest early on. Children spend most of their time in school with teachers and at home with their parents, and parents are often regarded as their first role model. So we will be providing resources and activities guided by STEM2D philosophy that are easy to understand and follow and can equip parents and teachers to build the confidence for them and for their children to engage.
Great, thanks for that, Angela. And next, I would like to turn all of us over to Tashelle, my colleague at FHI 360, to check out some STEM activities that you can do at home. Tashelle.
Hi. Welcome, my name is Tashelle Green. As Lisa mentioned, I'm also part of the FHI 360 team, but today you can call me Titanium T, that's my scientific name. And that's a great segue into what I'm about to show you, which is essentially looking at chemistry. So titanium is an element, it's part of the periodic table. And so elements can combine together to give us molecules and different compounds of different sizes. And essentially, as part of chemistry, we can also see how these molecules interact with each other and with other molecules to give us a chemical reaction. So you'll get a chance to see that in the video Up with Gas. So enjoy the video. Wasn't that cool? Again, what you're seeing is the combination of a solid, which is baking soda, with vinegar. And vinegar is a very, very, very strong acid. So one thing that chemists can look at is what happens if I change my starting material of my chemical reaction? Will I get the same product? So essentially what you saw is by adding the sodium bicarbonate to the vinegar, it inflated. And when you try this at home, you'll see the chemical reaction as it progresses, because you'll see the formation of these bubbles within the balloon. So try at home. What happens if you do baking soda with another acid like pineapple juice or orange juice? Coke is also very acidic. Would you get the same inflation of your balloon? Or what happens if you try baking powder? So baking powder is very similar in structure to baking soda. Will it react the same? So try it at home and have fun doing so. Angela, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tashelle. I better get my balloons and baking soda ready because I'm sure my girls are going to want to do this later. I'd like now to welcome Basima, one of our Bridge to Employment students, for a Q&A session with me. Hi, Basima.
Hi, my name is Basima Curry. I'm a senior at Narston Area High School, and I'm part of the Bridge to Employment program. So I've been doing science for a very long time. My first experience was in first grade, where I did like a class project, and then that progressed to me doing the county science fair in 7th grade. Most recently, I've taken AP classes in both chemistry and bio.
Thanks so much, Basima, for giving us a little bit of background about yourself. It's really cool to hear how you discovered your love for STEM at such a young age, and that's carried through. Can you share some of your BTE experiences with us?
Yeah, the site closest to me is the Janssen site. So there we visited different labs. We looked at the manufacturing and distribution process of different drugs, as well as the marketing side of things. So BTE not only shows us that side, but it prepares us for careers. So they've provided us with different workshops and preparation college courses too.
Wow, that sounds like a great experience that you had. And what are some of your future plans?
I plan to attend Colorado College in the fall, where I will double major in women and gender studies and a science. I'm not sure which one yet, though.
Oh, well, that's fantastic, Basima. We wish you all the best in your studies ahead, and we hope that you continue to nurture your love for science. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm now going to turn it over to Brenda, who is a BTE alumni.
Thanks, Angela. And we're back. Thanks again to Basima, and congratulations, class of 2020. You're almost done. You're almost there. And speaking of that, I'd like to now introduce Brenda, have her tell us a little bit about herself in the vein of it is 2020 and there's a graduation year coming up. So Brenda, introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Brenda Okereke and I'm so happy to be here with you all. I am currently a graduating senior attending Rutgers School of Engineering, majoring in biomedical engineering, and I am a BTE alumni from the North Plainfield site, and I'm a current Pathway to Success participant.
Great, thanks Brenda. And she was also a student ambassador that was selected to lead her team in high school and had this fabulous experience to share with others in Ireland, which was a lot of fun. And we saw lots of videos from you, so thanks for that. And tell us what sparked your interest in STEM.
So my initial interest in STEM was sparked by my father. He put me in front of computers at a very young age. And I also had role models in my life at a very young age that would push computers and STEM to me. And I found it interesting and wanted to learn more about it. And as I went through middle school, I had taken a biology course with a professor, and she had done a microbiology lesson, and she was showing us how there were these microorganisms on the surface of the countertops that were in front of us that helped create the genetic makeup of the tables and also help with different functions. And I was like, there's things I can't see that is helping keep this together. I was so enraptured by that. And then when I got into high school, getting involved with Bridge to Employment helped create a more structured environment to learn about STEM opportunities and careers, because there was a big push for exploration in STEM. So ever since getting involved in Johnson & Johnson at that level as well, I've been able to like skyrocket from there.
Yeah. And as you've gone through this journey, what have you noticed? What are your observations for women in STEM, women in these careers?
Yes. So I've noticed that there still is a very, very prominent gap, which is why I see the importance in all the initiatives to get more women in STEM. Because in my classes, it could be a class full of 100 kids. There may be only 20 or so girls, if that. And all of my classes were predominantly male. All of my teachers were predominantly male. So there still is a very long way to go.
Thanks. And you talked about mentorship, and we have Gloria here with us on the show today, who was your mentor, and you met about 7 years ago, I think.
Yes.
Could you tell us a bit about mentorship and about that need for mentorship, or about your mentorship experience?
Yeah, so mentorship is very, very important. I was lucky enough that Gloria came over and took over the BT site at North Plainfield, and we struck up a relationship because I was always asking what was next, like what was coming up with the different programs. And anytime I had a question, Gloria was there. And anytime there was a particular like activity or anything that I wanted to kind of experience, I always knew that I could tap into her and our other mentors from J&J. And I think it's very important that students, especially students who are exploring STEM, have people that they can tap into, especially people in a corporate industry or anybody that they can really talk to talk over their plans.
Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing that. And my last question for you is for our audience today and for the girls that are out there. What is your advice to girls as it relates to STEM?
My advice would be to really utilize your resources. Google has the answer to almost any question you can ask. And even then, you could find people on there that you could reach out to, whether it is through LinkedIn or through some other networking opportunity, that you can ask whatever question you have towards STEM, and that you can go and accomplish any STEM goal that you have, whether it is a degree or to be a part of a science fair. There are so many resources that just are there to support you and your exploration through STEM. And it's hard, but it's definitely doable. It's not impossible, and you just have to continue on and keep trying.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Brenda. And thanks for being just dedicated to this. And as you can all tell, we have two very strong women leaders here, one graduating from high school and one graduating with a degree in college. So we're all real proud of you.
Thank you.
Right. I would like to turn it back to what I learned. We have a new name. We have Titanium T, and she is going to lead us through a live example of how to make slime.
Thank you, Lisa. So I am so excited. So what I'm showing you here is the slime that we're about to make. And so this is part of the manufacturing process. And so what that means is that we can take raw materials such as soap and salt, combine it with food coloring or glitter, anything. You can be very creative, and we can mix it to give us this nice ooey gooey slime. And so what you will need is a bowl and the shampoo. So I'm gonna pour some shampoo into my bowl, and it could be shampoo of any amount. But what you wanna be careful about is the amount of salt that you're adding. So I'm gonna show you. I will probably add about this much salt, and then I'll start mixing. And what you're looking for is the shampoo to start clumping together like this. How you'll know that you're completed making the slime is that when you touch it, there should be no residue on your hand. So see, I have some residue, So I know that I need to add a little bit more of the salt to that. And so you'll keep mixing and stirring. If you've added too much salt, it will turn liquidy. And so you can just keep adding more of the shampoo. But as I said, be creative. You can add food coloring. You can add glitter, as much glitter as you want. I like glitter. And you mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. And then touch it again to see, is it sticking to your hands, which it is, which means I just need to add some more salt. So you'll keep adding salt until you get the consistency that you need. And so what I'll show you is some examples of the slime that I've made before. And so this is what we're going for. As I showed you, I can touch it, and it's so awesome. I love touching slime. Here's some more slime, a different color. And then I have some here with glitter. So you can be very, very, very creative in making your slime. And I'll let Bashima tell you a little bit more about her experience with making slime.
Awesome, Tashelle, or should I say Titanium T. I used to work at a craft store and would lead a slime class like every weekend. I see that you use shampoo. Some things that I've used was flour and shaving cream. That works too. I also seen that you had to adjust the ratio to get the perfect consistency and texture that you looked for. I love it.
Thank you. So you guys might be wondering what is actually going on with this whole slime. Well, slime is a polymer. So I'm showing you here my necklace, which essentially has the same subunits, these little balls. So slime is made up of multiple subunits, and it's in an elongated form, or should I say the shampoo. And once you add the salt to it, the molecules start coming closer together. So essentially what you see in this yellow here is that the molecules are combined and they create a surface tension. So as I told you, once I start touching it, it doesn't stick to my hands. So now try it at home. As Bashima mentioned, there are ways to be creative. And as I've shown you, you can be creative in other ways as well. So I'll turn it back over to Angela.
Thanks, Titanium T. That was so much fun watching the demonstration and having the explanation behind it. You can be sure there will be some glitter slime coming out of my household later on today.
Awesome.
Thank you. It's now my privilege to have a Q&A session with one of my colleagues, a J&J volunteer mentor, Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about your role as a J&J volunteer mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had the wonderful opportunity to lead a program with North Plainfield High School, a Bridge to Employment program, for over 2.5 years. That started back in 2014. I had a team of 13 J&J volunteers from different companies and sites and functions, and we worked together with the high school and with a local college to deliver different programs and to mentor the students over a number of years.
Oh, thanks so much, Gloria, for all your services. Can you help us understand what sparked your interest in STEM?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started my career with J&J, I started in the consumer division in supply chain operations. And it was really a great opportunity for me to develop strong analytical skills and process thinking and also problem solving. And a couple of years into my career, I got to work really closely with the information technology organization. And that experience in working with IT really sparked the interest for me and actually led to a career change. I intended to actually pursue marketing because of my interest in innovation and creativity, but I learned that through technology and that it's always changing, you're able to really apply creative solutions to problems in a really big way. So for over 17 years now, I continued my career in technology, have worked in a number of different areas supporting supply chain, digital marketing, healthcare technology, and currently medical devices, where I'm a director supporting our sales function in North America and Latin America.
Thanks, Gloria. It's great to hear. It's never too late to discover your passion and then pursue it. What we also find in these programs is that they help to build really strong relationships. And we heard earlier that you're the mentor for Brenda. And you guys have been keeping in touch for about 7 years now, which is amazing. What has sparked the connection between you and Brenda?
Yeah, it's been a tremendous journey. And, as I mentioned, Bridge to Employment, we're involved for multiple years. So it's not that we come in and spend a day or a couple of hours with the students. We're working with them for a number of years. And so because of that, we were able to develop these strong, trusted relationships with the students. And with Brenda, she was always super engaged, inquisitive. She would always come to us with the right questions. And we started developing that relationship and continued throughout the BTE program. But also, once she got engaged in Pathways in college, we got to then work together in that capacity. And it's been just great seeing her grow throughout the journey.
Thanks, Gloria. And lastly, can you help us understand why mentorship is so important, and in particular for young women interested in STEM? How can mentorship spark interest in STEM careers?
Well, absolutely. Even from some of my early experiences with mentors, I find that they often see potential and possibilities that we sometimes don't see in ourselves. And that's very important when you're deciding what to pursue in college or what jobs and career to pursue. And also, I think, having a woman as a mentor and as a role model is very important, because you're able to then see relatable examples and experiences, and that helps you see your path into STEM and definitely can spark that interest.
Thank you so much for joining us, Gloria, and for being such a wonderful role model to the other students out there.
Thanks so much, Angela.
Okay, now we're going to turn it over to you, the audience. What questions and comments do you have about sparking interest in STEM2D careers? We would love to hear from you. So please share some comments.
Sure. And as we see them coming in, we encourage you to keep it going, keep the conversation going, so that we can continue to respond in that way through the comment section. So we have a couple of things for you all in this last minute as what we like to call a call to action. So hopefully you have been inspired by these women as much as I have been inspired from all of the good work that is going on. So first, please check out our website. It's STEM2D.org. We have created videos, we have created instructions, we've created activities for all of you to do pretty easily, anywhere from 5 minutes to 4 hours. So take your pick, check us out. And next week on Thursday, please tune into the next episode. We have 4 live episodes each week through each J&J and each of the partners. And you'll see that in the comments section if you want to join in. And the Road to Vaccine, many of you have been watching that. It's J&J's Road to Vaccine. And that video series, you can go on to jnj.com and see those. So I want to thank all of our participants. I want to thank all of the audience for engaging with us today. And thanks for your commitment to the young people and to STEM.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, everybody. It was a blast to be here with you today.
Great. Bye.
Bye-bye.